An update now to the mosque attack in Quebec City. 6 shot dead while peacefully praying as one man, Alexandre Bissonnette, remains behind bars. Bissonnette, the only suspect, now faces 6 charges of first-degree murder and 5 charges of attempted murder. And despite having appeared in court, Bissonnette has yet to enter a plea. It's a story we've been tracking for you closely here at therebel.media. Let's get you updated on developments during the last 10 days since the attack. Beginning with motive. What caused the suspect to allegedly open fire and kill 6 people in cold blood? Well, it would seem all options are on the table, as officials aren't ruling anything out. In the time since the attack, I've had several phone conversations with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, who remain involved in the ongoing investigation. However, RCMP media spokespeople would not confirm if mental illness is being considered as a possible motive. However, sources close to Bissonnette say that the suspect reportedly suffered from severe anxiety, problems with alcohol, and was taking antidepressant medication. Moreover, his twin brother Mathieu has been reportedly hospitalized following the attack. Meantime, while the media and political class labeled the gruesome attack an act of, quote, terrorism shortly after the massacre took place, terrorism charges still have yet to be laid, and by virtue of the fact that the RCMP remain on the case, well, all signs actually point to the fact that terrorism charges are still being pursued. Can you tell us whether or not this case is still being investigated as possible terrorism?
Give me a second here, okay?
Okay.
Okay, the RCMP is still investigating at this point, but I cannot confirm that it is still investigated as a terrorist attack.
You cannot confirm?
No.
Media spokespeople also told me that if the RCMP were to withdraw and hand the investigation over to Quebec's provincial police, that would be a clear signal that terror charges are officially off the table. And to be sure, based on the charges Bissonnette now faces, if convicted, he would not be eligible for parole for some 150 years, whereas any punishment Bissonnette could receive from a terrorism offense would not be more than that. So why continue to pursue terrorism? Well, ultimately, the symbolism of terrorism charges carries more political weight than its actual impact on Bissonnette's sentence, which begs the question: what is the threshold that police are looking to meet in order for terror charges to be laid? Well, for starters, the Canadian federal government has a list of terrorist entities, but it's possible whoever perpetrated this attack, well, that he or she acted alone. More broadly, Canada's criminal code defines a terror attack as an act committed for political, religious, or ideological purposes, objectives, or causes, with the intention of intimidating the public or a segment of the public with regard to its security. And so, the question becomes, did the suspect who allegedly perpetrated this attack do so for political, religious, or ideological purposes? And if the suspect turned himself into police and never turned the gun on himself, why does he have yet to reveal his motive? Is that the man who's now been released was first arrested on the scene. So then, by logic, it was Bissonnette who called himself in, yes?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so has Bissonnette revealed a motive?
No, I don't know. I don't have the information.
So which one is it? He has not revealed a motive, or you do not know?
I don't know.
Now, despite the lack of official motive to date, well, members of the Canadian media, they continue to point to the 2 likes on Bissonnette's Facebook page for 2 popular politicians, U.S. President Donald J. Trump and France's Marine Le Pen. Now, the police, however, well, they have a higher threshold than 2 Facebook likes for determining motive. Or do they? RCMP Commissioner Bob Paulson, he spoke about the attack during the Senate National Security Defense Committee this week. Paulson refused to provide specific numbers of individuals or groups under investigation. However, listen to how Paulson describes the suspect currently in RCMP custody.
I do know that there is a renewed interest in the sort of the classic terrorist case. Now we're talking about the sort of offender that was present in Quebec, and we've worked in partnership with police agencies as well, to work on the what I'll call the criminal extremists, and we have files on those.
So, no word on terror charges to date in an RCMP investigation, but the RCMP commissioner calls the attack in Quebec City non-classic terrorism, a term that is in no way grounded in Canadian law or legal precedent. Paulson then went on to warn about how a caustic tone of political discourse, that is, by definition, a sarcastic or bitter tone in political discourse, can radicalize people.
There is, I think everyone would agree, a more sort of caustic tone to the political discourse that seems to attract and agitate and radicalize people of all persuasions, particularly those who know hardly anything about it, to engage, and that represents a concern for us.
It's worth pointing out again that no evidence outside of those 2 Facebook likes for Trump and Le Pen have been provided to substantiate the claim that Bissonnette behaved like an extremist online. Moreover, refugee advocacy group members who say Bissonnette was known to them as an extremist online, well, they too have yet to provide any evidence to substantiate their claim. In the meantime, Canada's mainstream media has carried on with a portrait of the suspect as a right-wing extremist, while calls for more gun control abound. Alexandre Bissonnette will next appear in court on February 21st when he's expected to enter a plea, and we'll be on the ground to cover every detail as it develops. For the Rebel.Media, I'm Faith Goldie. For continuing coverage and all the latest updates when it comes to the Quebec attack, be sure to click below and subscribe to our YouTube channel.